Well, it has certainly been a while since I have been on here, so welcome back. I'm sure a few of you, and yes, this is StreamYard, so this will be going to the We Are the Resistance YouTube page. I did it on the fly, so I didn't have a chance to upload the Rumble and the Getter and all that good stuff. But I've been trying to take a break, we'll just say, this summer, because what I do is what no one else does. And it's exhausting. But when I saw today, and I'm sure many of you are like, what did she see today? Hold on. Got to make sure I'm live because in public, edit posts. Friends, new. Hold on. I really hate this stupid thing. So for right now, manage this post. It's not, it used to let me change public. Hold on. But it's not. So at least my friends can see this, and it's shareable once it's not live anymore. Let me go on actual Facebook real quick. Oh, here I am. You are now live. Yes, I know. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Maybe that'll get some people on here to watch. Edit post. Yeah, it's not letting me, of course, now that I'm on here. But anyway. It is what it is, and I will make it public as soon as I can. But so for everyone who saw the John Mcguire post regarding Albemarle, and guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you focus on Albemarle and solely Albemarle, we're going to get nothing done. The obsession with Albemarle, of course, it's John Mcguire's division. And why does that upset me so much, okay, is because, so this letter, let's pull up, see if I can remember how to split screen. No. It's funny how this stuff that used to be so easy for you, for me, now I can't remember how to do it. Manage layout. Why did StreamYard get so complicated? Share screen. Okay, entire screen. Here we go. Okay, so this letter today came up, and I'm saving it from, so this would be July 9th from to Governor Spamberger and Attorney General J. Jones. I will write you today to strongly urge you to take immediate action and investigate Albemarle County schools following the arrest of former Hollymead Elementary social and emotional learning coach, guys. Ding, ding, ding. Social and emotional learning coach. What is that? I think everybody should be going, I wonder what that is. I don't know. Oh, yeah, and you voted on that legislation. But the Albemarle County Police Department stated that the investigation into Michael Sweeney began in January 2026 when a victim came forward to report to ACPD, that means Albemarle County Police Department. They didn't go through the CPS channel. They went straight to the police department. That a staff member at their school had engaged them in inappropriate sexual contact. Further investigation revealed 3 additional juvenile victims who also reported unwanted sexual contact between August 2024 and January 2026. Michael Swiney's arrest comes 3 months after another Wilbrick teacher, Nicholas J. Clark, was arrested and charged with possession of child pornography. As you may know, that Albemarle County Schools placed Michael Swiney on leave January 2026. However, parents weren't notified until months later. Guys, parents are not normally notified. Okay? This lack of parental notification is at its best negligent and worse, calculated attempt by the school to protect their image at the expense of the safety of the children entrusted to their care. I mean, I don't know. Where could he have possibly gotten that verbiage from? It sounds like, I don't know. What do I say all the time? But, and then I'm going to play for you.
Yes, and I'm an education policy expert.
I ran this during Bob Mcguire or Bob Dole or Bob Good. This ran up in your area and you people still voted for him. Why would I run this ad when he ran for Congress?
And Taydus, and I'm an education policy expert fighting to restore true academics to Virginia. I approached John Mcguire last December seeking his help on legislation stopping school districts from moving around teachers who sexually abuse students. But rather than introduce the legislation, all I got from John Mcguire were excuses about why he wouldn't put the bill in to save children from pedophiles in our schools. John Mcguire does not put children first. Congressman Bob Good is a true conservative champion of freedom, always on our side, standing up for parents and children against teachers' unions, speaking his mind, defending our values, and standing up for what we believe. Re-elect Congressman Bob Good, our values, our voice, no one's man but yours. Champions of Freedom PAC paid for this.
Okay, so to rewind, I want to rewind to the beginning. And I ran this again. Again, ignore the Bob Good part, okay? We're just going to listen to the important
policy expert fighting to restore true academics to Virginia. I approached John Mcguire last December seeking his help on legislation stopping school districts from moving around teachers who sexually abuse students. But rather than introduce the legislation, all I got from John Mcguire were excuses about why he wouldn't put the bill in to save children from pedophiles in our schools. John Mcguire does not put children first. Congressman Bob Good is a true conservative champion.
So, minus the Bob Good portion. Okay. This ran 2 years ago. 2 years. This legislative session where I took him full legislation. I have all of the screenshots here. Let me pull them up for you. I went to him and I said, this is what's going on. He said, okay, so what's going on? And I said, teachers are, so he said, what's going on? And I got to shoot myself all these screenshots because my phone's being a pain. And I'm going to share these really kind of for the first time ever, because it's that important that you see the extent when this man tries to blow smoke up your butt about how much he cares by writing this letter to Spamberger. His exact words to me when instead of carrying this legislation, John Mcguire on the phone with me, and his attorney person that they should stop paying because they don't know law or anything. He said to me, "Is this something that the governor would support?" He said, "I don't think this is something the governor would support," after he's asked me that question. This was Governor Glenn Youngkin, I will remind you. McGuire, I'm sorry. What? And I'm going to, I hope you're watching this at home, because I told you no one gets a promotion, much less keeps their job as an elected duty-bearing civil servant in this country when you not only do not live up to what you promise, but you think on the back end, 3 years later, I'm going to be the one to be quiet. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So one more time.
For true academics to Virginia. I approached John Mcguire last December seeking his help on legislation stopping school districts from moving around teachers who sexually abuse students. But rather than introduce the legislation, all I got from John Mcguire were excuses about why he wouldn't put the bill in to save children from pedophiles in our schools. John Mcguire does not put children first. Congressman Bob Good is a true...
We'll just skip the Bob Good part. And we'll go back to his letter. Member of Congress, our children's safety should be the number one priority. The number one priority. But this is how, let me send you myself these photos. And I'm going to screen, I don't like doxing people, but this is one of those moments where you need to see just how much John Mcguire, after sending that letter to Abigail Spanberger, why? Because she's a Democrat. I had these conversations with him. I'll show you. After he left office, while he was in office. And did he send a letter to Governor Glenn Youngkin? I was on the Rob Schilling show exposing one of their disgusting stories in Charlottesville regarding another case where the school division and the Commonwealth attorney and the sheriff department covered it up after a woman came forward saying she was a part of it. So let's skip and go to my posts. So let's see. These are my actual phone screenshots. So this would have been, okay, December 2nd is when this dialogue started. I'm going to call you later today when I get, and I wrote him back. Okay, sounds good. He literally called me back like 3 minutes later. And then the next day I sent him the entire catch the trash legislation that I had written. Okay. So we tighten the language defining persons over 18. These are screenshots, again, just to continue. These are all of the federal documents I sent him. Going on, actually, I can pull it up on my phone under our conversations, which he never deleted because he's not that smart. So these are all continuing within the week of 2023. Okay, this is GAO highlights, GAO 14 highlights. This is Title IX comments final. Analysts, sexual abuse by teachers isn't examined enough. These are educator sexual misconduct remains prevalent in school. Feds call on states to stop shielding teachers accused of. Guidelines for the prevention. This guidelines from the VDOE. And this goes on. I sent him, Massachusetts just did it. Hundreds of educators arrested for sex abuse are tip of the iceberg. This is in 2023, John Mcguire. These are screenshots. Look, John M. A thesis, prevention and response. This was before I actually dug into knowing what exactly I was dealing with. Maybe your attorney should contact me, because his attorney tried to tell me that the one Virginia code that says that custodians and guardians face a class 6 felony. He told me that one Virginia code should take care of this entire problem. Okay, John Mcguire. I'm still sending him study of state policies to prohibit aiding and abetting, temporary teacher charge for hitting 8-year-old student. Virginia, underreported PDF, law review, Virginia teacher aide accused of abusing disabled students. Will new federal data quantify teacher sexual misconduct? These are all documents that I sent John Mcguire in 2023. Okay. Look, December 5th, 2023. This would be 2 days after our phone call that he wouldn't carry the legislation. Thomas Dale High School charged with assaulting student, both in one day. York County, Grafton High School teacher accused of assaulting student. His response, geez. And to the one I sent him above that, terrible. Does that sound like a man who cares? Here. And this isn't regarding sexual abuse. This is a Skipwith Academy daycare in Henrico County fired after 2 3-year-old boys went missing under their care. Oh, and then look here. December 8th, 2023. Police say Charlottesville schools never reported alleged sexual assault, broke Virginia law. Yeah. And then this is when it gets really, he writes me on December 8th and says, are you supporting Trump? Okay. This was in 2023. Does a one-legged duck swim in a circle? Okay. And this is where he tries to blow up Bob Good. Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene is 100% right. Do you still stand by that, John? Do you still stand by that? This is proof Bob lies to you. Are you still standing by MTG? Because I don't think so. But here's where the interesting part comes in. So because I'm honest, it's me writing him back when he's like all super MAGA. And I'm all super MAGA at that point also. So because I'm honest and it's all I know, I knew you were running against him before the primaries. I didn't say anything announcing right after you win the Senate when we lost the Senate and the House. I'm sure you're aware that your constituents are unhappy that that was the plan all along. Not my business. You're not my senator. If you were, I'd be all over you like white on rice. My advice as the person who cares zero about politics, only about saving the nation and our children, you have one shot coming up in the next month and the month after to win your constituents back over by being the America First patriot they believe you to be. One cannot be, I care about what the governor does and says, and be MAGA at the same time. This was before the Glenn Youngkin, Trump, meeting of the minds happened, 23 years ago. I understand there's a fine line in politics, but if you're not aware that the course our governor has set us on is one that's going to destroy this nation at this point, I highly suggest you catch up. There's only a couple of you in the General Assembly, Bryce Reeves being another one, that I'm comfortable enough to be brutally honest with. That is true. Because do you know who's using me as their education consultant in their congressional election campaign? Cameron was, Jeffrey was, Rob Whitman was helping me with the BC DPA. But yet when it comes down to it, nobody actually wants to help. I know you're not going to respond because you're intelligent and those people do shady stuff like screenshots, but that's not me until I had to be. If you'd like to discuss and meet any of this further, including legislation, let me know what your week is like. And then he called me on December 8th because I started blasting him loudly. And I wrote him back, hey, getting kids ready to go see Santa. Are you around later? I then sent him this website, ednewsvirginia.org, sexual abuse in Virginia schools. Norfolk mom wants justice. And then I sent him this was a final review of the standard of proof in determining child abuse and neglect from Virginia. And then I sent him this audit from Favola. So that's to drive home just for you guys. So I'm not going to be on here and I will start doing like a daily daily bite-sized piece for y'all on how important it is. But here's what you're missing. And this is what everyone is missing. And this is what I met with me, a mother, I hold no office, met with Chesterfield County Child Protective Services, a boardroom of them and me. And we went over all of the data, to which they, of course, said the numbers must be wrong. This cannot be correct. It's your numbers. It comes from your dashboard. It comes from your information. But the most important thing, let me see if I can get out of here. Oh, here it is. I think this is right here. You can't look at anything. Let me download it and see if I can get to it faster. I'll be right down, honey. Give me a second. I'll be right there, baby. I'll be right there. Sorry, they just got home. Is right here. This is what nobody's looking at that I've been screaming at you. And this is what is that. So here's Albemarle. Sorry. Here's Albemarle. 2010. Staff reported. Teachers reported. Total reported. Investigated. 50%. Here's the state in 2010. And I've shown y'all this over and over. If you want your division, your county, I have done every single one for 15 years. And I'm waiting on 2025, which they don't want to give me. So if you're fighting in Albemarle, this, you need to know this. In 2021, 0 staff, 2 teachers, 2, they got 100%. Bravo. In 2012, 0 staff, 7 teachers, 7 reported, 6 investigated, 85%. 2013, 1 staff, 6 teachers. Did you know about any of these? 7 total, 2 investigated, 2. So that's 29%. 2014, we go to 0, 9, 9 reported, 2 investigated. That's 22%. 2015, 1 staff, 4 teachers, 5 total, 1 investigated. That's 20%. 5 reported, 1 investigated. 2016, 0. Oh, they get 100 again. Congratulations. But then from there, you go to 1 staff, 12 teachers, 13 total, 5 investigated out of 13. 4, 6 in 2018, 10 reported, 2 investigated. That's 20%. The state is at 17, almost 1,800, 380. That's 21%. And then we're down to 2024, 10 staff compared to 0, 10 teachers compared to 2. So we're in 2023, it was 9 and 21 in Albemarle, where you're all so. But does any politician want this data from me? So in a 15-year-old total, Albemarle, because CPS is 100% responsible for investigating anything reported from the school. It doesn't go to the police. So you're looking at a systemic problem that if you continue to only fight it at your individual level, if John Mcguire only cares about Albemarle, we're going to get nowhere because we read it every single day. Every single day we see, I make the videos and I post them for you and you're shocked until it's now at 1 in 8 children. It was 1 in 10 children that will be sexually harassed, molested, raped, or abused by a teacher. It's now at 1 in 8. I can't make it any clearer than for you. So do you want to bravo John Mcguire because he wrote a letter to a Democrat attorney general and a Democrat governor when he ignored it under a Republican governor and a Republican attorney general? Is that the kind of person that you find warm and fuzzy with your morals? Because again, I will play, if I can get out of here, is that I can't, I will continue to beat this into your head. But John Mcguire is known, right? John Mcguire. I don't know who's running against John Mcguire, but the war machine needs somebody else. We need somebody else, because any of you that are fans of freedom, getting rid of Massey and Bob Good, if you don't see how all that's kind of working, it's very frightening. But nobody gives a flying flip about your letter. Abigail Spanberger ripped it up and threw it in the trash. Because if you didn't care when a Republican governor was in office, John Mcguire, why in the world would we think you cared when you sent a letter that probably your secretary typed up and you signed and sent to a Democrat attorney general? So again, the Virginia Childhood Innocence Project, you can find us at wearetheresistance.org. We also have Facebook, and I'm alone in this. If any of you are interested, please get in touch with me personally. You know somebody that knows how to get in touch with me personally, but I'm exhausted. I can't keep up with this alone. A lot of people have been asking me why I haven't been on top of Albemarle. Well, that's because before Albemarle, the week before that, there was something else. It just happened to be that when you have someone great like Rob Schilling, it's going to get different amounts of media attention than if you're here with somebody like, oh, I don't know, John Fredericks, or maybe, sorry, I hate to say it, John Reed. You're just going to get different coverage when you have somebody that actually cares like Rob Schilling. It doesn't mean it's not happening anywhere else as much. It just means that they're mad. You should be mad, because this article right here is the one where it's, let me read this. This was on December 8th, 2023. I did notify him of this. Police say Charlottesville City Schools never reported alleged sexual abuse broke Virginia law. Police Chief Michael Caucus and Charlottesville Commonwealth Attorney Joseph Platania alerted Superintendent Robert Royal Gurley that the allegation should have been reported to authorities. That's according to the November 27th letter obtained by Courtney Stewart of the radio station that Rob works for. So it goes on to say, so the Commonwealth Attorney, the school board, or the super or Gurley, and the police department decided behind closed doors that the way they did it was correct. And I had gone up to record an episode with Rob, and I proceeded to go to the sheriff's department, to the Commonwealth Attorney office myself. And the answer was, do you live here? And that's what I come in everywhere I go to try to fight battles and put out fires where I don't live. It's very hard for me when I don't live there. That doesn't mean when I'm there, I'm not trying to fight for you, but I don't live there. I don't pay taxes there. They don't care how much involved in politics or how many facts I have about their division. I can only do what Chesterfield needs me to do, and I do it. As a parent, I'm not elected. But John, I hope you're watching this, because I warned you. I warned you. When you're faced with children being raped and abused by adults, and you choose to go the popular path and not carry legislation because you don't think the governor, who's a Republican, is going to want to rock that boat and carry that legislation, when I tell you I'm never going to let you forget this, I mean it. And everybody should mean that, because when you send a letter to a Democrat governor and a Democrat AG about what happened in Albemarle, acting like you're stupid, and you guys that are just joining us, you can go back to the beginning and you can see all the evidence that I showed you from 3 years ago of what he knew and what I shared with him. But no, John, I'm sorry, but and if your people are still like, yeah, John, he's great, I feel sorry for your district. But you and that letter, disgusting. And if you didn't think I'd see it, or I had let it go, No, as a survivor of child sex abuse who knows what this is doing to children, and it will amount to another public health crisis in 5 years. We're probably already seeing it, because what happens to children when their abuse is ignored by adult figures and covered up, like your letter said, to protect the institution over the child, it is worse than the abuse itself. The abuser doesn't become the problem, the enabler does. And so every single person that looks the other way thinking, oh, it's not my school, it's not my division, it can't be that bad. If you're paying attention, it's that bad. Contact me. I'll come speak where you live and tell you just how bad it is. Because I have a spreadsheet of every teacher since 2000 that's lost their license, why they've lost their license, why all of a sudden when you get caught, I don't know, Cheech and Chonging in your car or masturbating on school property, you don't lose your license anymore. You get suspended. Why is that? Oh, that's that whole let's let felons become teachers that only 17 House delegates voted no for, 100% of the Senate voted yes for. Remember that? 2020. But hey, I'll keep being the bad guys, because Virginia Childhood Innocence Project, innocence, childhood, all I care about. Adults, you grew up. You face your consequences. Children are not owed that. And if you don't know how to get in contact with me, comment. I will check my DMs if you want to help me with this project. But again, your division is not what matters. It matters because you can create change in your division like I did. But if we actually want real lasting change, Virginia is the worst out of 50 states in our laws protecting children. The worst. Our age of consent is 13. You can get a misdemeanor consensual sex with a 14-year-old and serve no time in jail. If you want to know how your judges perform, I have all of their reports, what they sentence people to, how many times that you have to rape a child for you to get maybe 61 days in jail over the sentencing guidelines. I've got it all. I just can't do it alone. So I know you're welcome. You're excited to see me back, but I'm out of here. But I'll be back. But John Mcguire, I warned you. I warned you.